2024 Indian Chieftain, on to the pursuit of happiness. Let's go. So 2024 Indian Pursuit here. You've heard me talk about these bikes a lot. Are they the Harley-Davidson Deathstroke? I don't know. But I would say that it's a pretty big start towards making things bad for Harley. This bike, the Indian Pursuit, as they call it, it is a Chieftain model, but obviously the Chieftain's a little different. But this is the Pursuit Darkhorse, and if you ask me, even with the shadows that this camera's doing, this bike is tasty. I mean, it is murdered out just the way I like it, and liquid cooled, right? So you're gonna get that constant performance. And this has the Power Plus motor, which they introduced a few years ago. The Power Plus motor gives you 128 foot-pounds of torque at 122 horsepower. So this bike is no slouch. This is the full bagger edition too. You can see it's got the trunk, it's got the saddlebags, and they even come with the black chrome pipes that sound really, really good from the factory. Moving on to the cockpit though, riding two up, this thing is just a dream. This reminds me of the CVO that Harley pushes a lot. The price tag on this is way different. This just kind of, in the configuration we see here, is $37,500. $37,500. I think the CVO that I test drove last year was in the 60s. So think about the price difference versus what you're getting, it's crazy. When you ride this bike though, I'll tell you, you're immediately gonna feel the balance of power. And we're gonna take it for a ride here in just a second. But check it out. Indian is putting a ton of features on this thing. It's got Apple CarPlay built into it now, which is just awesome, fantastic. You also get a 600 watt radio, which I'm usually listening in my helmet, but I mean, that's a great feature, you know, because it's gonna have these speakers there, but also it has speakers back here, which is crazy. Heated seats front and back as well, heated hand grips. I mean, it's got everything, cruise control, you name it. This has a 19-inch forged aluminum rim too on the front, which I think looks really sharp. And they're backing everything up with premium components, Brembo brakes up front. The suspension on this, I believe, is Fox, but I could be wrong. And this also gives you some analog gauges as well. So yeah, I'm really liking these bikes, especially for the price point, and they're doing a good job at the way they look. But enough talk, let's get on this baby and check it out, shall we? Let's go. Indian Pursuit Darkhorse. This thing is a beast. Whoa. All right, Indian Pursuit Darkhorse. This bike is a manimal of a bike. I mean, there's a lot going on with this bike, I'll tell you. I don't know where to begin. Immediately with these bikes, you're thinking, okay, you've either already drank in the Indian Kool-Aid, if you will, and that's not a negative thing, or you are thinking about getting a big bike and you're trying to decide what you want to do. It's like riding a chariot. Literally the entire bike just growls and shakes and shimmies when you take off. I love it. I absolutely love it. There's so much to talk about with this bike. First off, everybody's always saying, is it a Harley Killer? Is it a Harley Killer? Is it going to kill the Harleys? No, it's not. It's not a Harley Killer. It's an awesome American-made motorcycle that is competing with like the largest motorcycle manufacturer in the United States. This bike is absolutely amazing, and I have done demos on these bikes quite a few times, and if you're in the market for a ginormous
couch with 2 wheels and you want something that's comfortable, but you also want to be able to giddy up and go, this is your bike. There are some advantages to this bike over a Harley of similar stature, and I'm not going to really get into it, but there is one thing that I'm going to tell you. The price point on this bike and what you get versus the very similar Harley-Davidson, you know, cruiser model is night and day. This bike, I wouldn't say it's half price, but by the time you get the bike and it's already coming with a bunch of stuff on it, you're out the door at least 30% less than Harley. What do you get that's noticeably different? I think the power on like the CVO that they make like this is the same, but this bike's ability to balance is totally different. Before you even ride this bike, as soon as you sit on the seat and you pop the kickstand up and you upright the bike, you notice right away that the geometry on this bike is really something special. So that'll be the comparison. That'll be my main selling point if I was in the market between the 2 bikes, and you consider how well these bikes are balanced. That might help you with a decision. But besides for that, let's just talk raw features right now as far as this bike versus others. I think Indian has done a fantastic job since they launched. Of course, they're owned by Polaris, and they are a product of the Indian motorcycles. Are technically the oldest 1901 motorcycle out there. But let's just make this corner. This bike is a land yacht. Handles pretty good though. Self-canceling turn signals. So, and it sounds good right out of the box, honestly. 1901, Indian came to life, and of course they went out of business-ish over the years due to downturns in economic. The Harley-Davidson kind of kept going, but I mean, they were without their fair share of troubles as well. We know Polaris bought the brand, sunsetted Victory, and brought Indian to life. And most of those models, they kind of, you know, transferred over and adapted with a lot of cues to the original motorcycles. So it's kind of cool that you're buying a piece of history, but it's also reborn history. It's not the original. It's not the original bike company. It's a rebirthed Polaris. Again, the handling on these bikes is phenomenal. They're very reliable. They don't have a lot of problems. They're easy to work on. And, you know, they're married with newer technology and newer features that you see on some of the higher end V-twin models. For instance, the shifting on this is extremely engaging. It's very easy to push through the gears, and with a red line at 6,500, it does a pretty good job at slowing down, speeding up. They put good brakes on it. The suspension's fantastic. I mean, everything does a great job as far as where it should be with this type of bike. Braking, power, all that jazz. What is happening? What are you doing? Stopping to see some lady mow her grass. Fantastic. I really like Indian's electronics. Now, they have a built-in GPS. You don't have to mirror your phone to it. What is happening? Stinking Harley-Davidson riders. They do a good job at this with the electronics. You don't have to have your phone paired, and you still have sat nav, as they say. It doesn't require an internet signal, which is really good. They also have analog gauges for those that like that, but they couple that with digital displays as well. So you got a fuel gauge, odometer, gear number, selector, if you will. They also have a really nice section here showing you your digital speedometer, the temperature gauge on the engine, which is great, and then your tire pressure. So this has TPMS. Because of YouTube and the copyright things with music, I can't really turn on the radio and play music through it, but I have to tell you, the music on this is very good. The sound system is more than adequate, and you can hear it easily. There's also 2 little glove boxes here to put stuff in. Amount of storage you have on this bike, you have about 35 gallons of storage between the back, the side bags, and the little nooks and crannies. So you can bring a lot of stuff with you. You really can. With your phone paired to this, it allows you to seamlessly make phone calls, answer the call, and of course use different navigation apps that rely on live traffic data, so that's a bonus as well. They are going with the 19-inch chrome cut wheel, they call it, but it's basically forged aluminum with a low profile tire, so that looks pretty sharp, and it's not like absurd, so the bike still has a good handling geometry. It also has fog lights on this as well, or driving lights if you want to call it, and there's a big huge button right here for that. And by the way, this does use a key fob, so you don't have to actually have an ignition key. I'm not sure what the range is on these bikes, but I would say at least 200 miles on a tank. It's telling me right now I have 171 miles, and I do have a full tank, but I was talking to the guy and he said, you know, right around 200 is very doable, depending on how you're driving, obviously. This is a big engine. I mean, it's a big V-twin with really class-leading torque and horsepower. 122, I think it's 122 horsepower, 128 foot-pounds of torque. So you actually have more torque than horsepower. And it's kind of cool that Indian actually advertises those numbers, because some bike manufacturers do not do that. They just basically say it's fast, take our word for it. The wind protection on this bike is actually really good too. I like the feel being behind a cowling. Yesterday I got caught in the rain and I'm still soaking wet from it. So to be able to have protection on a cruiser like this is great, and then be able to really even just up the windscreen. Let's see how far this thing goes up. Oh yeah, yeah, and it even has like a little lower windscreen on the bottom here. Oh, actually that's a hole, so that gives you some ventilation, but I believe you can close it. It looks like there's like a little snap thing that you can, yes, there is. There's a little deal that pops down that you can change. I am a big fan of the Darkhorse editions of these motorcycles, just because I like the blacked out look. I think they do a nice job with this with the matte black, but they also have some of the gloss metallic black paint on the rest of the bike, so it's pretty sharp looking. Definitely not disappointed in the styling cues, and I think they got it right. One of the things I'm not super in love with, but I'm really not sure there's any way to get around it, is the weight of this bike. This bike is almost 900 pounds, and the bike feels quite nimble. I would compare this to kind of the way my GS Adventure feels, but it's a big bike. I mean, this is a beefy bike. So if you drop this bike and you have to get it up, I mean, you're gonna need some help. And besides for that, it is in the parking lot, although the geometry is nice on it, you still know it's a big bike when you're backing it into spots and things like that. I think the brakes on this are pretty good too. You can jam on them and it stops really good. I'll give you a good indication for that up here. As you can see, stops well. The bike gets out of its own way, no problem. It's a nice bike. I am pretty impressed with how well it goes down the road. It handles very nicely, and again, the price point for what you're getting is just phenomenal. It's a phenomenal value. I think that if you're in the market for one of these bikes and you're looking for a bike that has some style, some class, it's got the V-twin roar and that torque that you really enjoy, but you want a bike that you can handle and isn't going to beat you up, then this is your bike. I mean, there's almost no counter steering on this bike at all to move it. It's a very nimble feeling bike, which again, my biggest thing with Indian is how well they're balanced. Well, I'd be interested in your comments. If you get one of these bikes and you've had it for a while, what's been your reliability? How's it been? If you're thinking about one of these bikes, what's pushing you over the fence? What do you like about it? What you don't like about it? Chuck it down in the comments and let me know. And you know, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel out. We really appreciate everything you do. We also really appreciate the V-Twin Power Plus. I mean, this bike is no slouch, and these are tight corners, and this is a huge bike. Woo! All right, well, thanks for watching, and as always, ride safe.